Tackle Junkies, what's going on, everyone? Really appreciate you guys and gals for clicking on the video. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. We're in the garage, doors shut. Winter is back. It's blowing like 30 to 40 miles per hour out there. So hopefully you guys can hear me. That's why we're wearing the mic here. So hopefully the audio is not too bad. Hopefully there's not a bad echo in the audio. So anyways, really appreciate you guys for clicking on the video. Before we get things rolling, I got to give a shout out to my guys over there at Olight. They have a good sale. I think it's like their 16th anniversary sale starting on the 18th. I believe it goes to the 22nd. I'll talk about that in my live stream as well on Tuesday. If you guys don't know that, I stream every other Tuesday, normally around 8 o'clock. It just depends when I get home from work, but keep a lookout for that. I will make a post during the day so you guys have an idea on time, but it's normally not always the time posted, but it's right around there. Again, it just depends when I get home. But like I said, awesome sale over there at Olight, 18th through the 22nd. I have a discount code for you guys as well, which I'll put up on the screen. Link them down below. If you guys have already purchased from Olight before, all you got to do is log in and you guys will get a free flashlight. If you're new to Olight, create a login, go ahead and log in, and you'll also get a different free flashlight. I think you just have to pay shipping on them, but pretty cool deal over there. Check them out. I'll link them down below. Okay, very excited for today's video. We're going to talk about the 13 Fishing Inception G2 combos. Picked up a few of these. G-Man, Jared Swindle, works with 13 Fishing. He worked with them on these combos. And guys, I got to tell you, I'm pretty pumped to play around with these. I know that we got some lights. Hopefully you guys aren't blinded by the lights and my head. I'm not really sure, but I can see kind of a little glare going on there depending on where I'm standing. Hopefully you guys are good with that. But very excited about these combos. And this may sound like a little cheesy and all that, but when I first started bass fishing 20 plus years ago, one of the first kind of like decent combos, really good combo that I started out with, or I guess I could say I upgraded to, was the Pro Qualifiers and the Johnny Morris reels. I love those reels. I still use them to this day. And I just thought it was awesome that Edwin Evers also used those reels. And I mean, I'm very excited about all the gear that I now use, all the high-end gear, high-end reels and all that kind of stuff. But there's just something about when I started bass fishing, using that, affordable gear, and the fact that a pro that I was a big fan of was using it as well. I don't know, just something about that. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound like cheesy about that, but when I heard old G-Man was coming out with a combo from 13 and he put a lot of time into it, I was just like super excited to play around with it. I'm sure you guys have already heard of them. I do believe the reels are $150 and the rods are $150, so you can get a combo for $300. And I will link these down below over there, 13 or Tackle Warehouse. But I was just super excited to play around with these. And like I said, I don't know what it is. It just kind of, I guess it just takes me back, 20 something years to how I felt when I was using those Pro Qualifiers and all that. So anyways, I'm super excited to play around with them. And we got 3 different combos here. This is kind of like a first impression type video. How about we do the next video? Let's see, tomorrow's also blowing like 30 to 40, so even if I get out, we're not gonna have much of a video because of audio. So then I gotta work the next 3 days. Let's shoot for Friday. I'm gonna go out on the water with these combos and we'll do another kind of first impression on the water as far as what I threw on them and how I liked them and all that kind of stuff. So this is just kind of letting you guys know what I have, what I picked out, what I plan to use them for. So anyways, let's jump into the combos. You guys know I'm a shallow cranker, had to get a cranking rod. I do believe he has 3 different cranking rods in the series. This one here is a 7-footer, moderate action to it, 1/4 to 3/4 is the lure rating, 8 to 17 pound test is the line rating. And guys, I have videos on those specs as well. I'll link them down below. Definitely check them out. But when I picked up this rod, I didn't know it was a glass rod. And if you know anything about glass rods, they're a bit on the heavy side. And this one here is no different. You can feel it's a bit tip heavy. Now that may change obviously once you get a reel mounted to it, but it does feel a bit tip heavy. But listen to G-Man talk about his glass rods. They're supposed to be a bit lighter than majority of the ones out there. So I'm really excited to play around with it. Like I said, 7-footer here, a moderate action. It does seem like it's got a much shorter butt section too, which I'm a big fan of as well. Good looking rods. They're black and red. You can see here the Meta Series on there. Meta Series, black and red, kind of gloss in this section here, gloss, a real seat, and more of a matte finish as you move up the rod there. But just a good looking rod, like I said, black and red, love the colors. So we got a cranking rod here, so most likely I'll just shallow crank with this rod, probably just square bills. Maybe you'll throw some DT6s on there or something like that, but I'd imagine I'm only going to throw probably square bills for the most part on this rod. We got a few reels as well we'll talk about at the end, but this is the first one that we got here, the Meta Series cranking rod, 7 foot. So really pumped to play around with this one here. So we have the crankbaits covered. I wanted to get a few different rods to be able to do multiple different things out on the water. Then I figured we could sit down and talk about my experiences with the rods. So anyways, we got our crankbaits covered. Then we'll move on to this one here. You can just tell just going from that rod to this rod. I mean, there's a big difference in weight. But anyways, this one here is a 7'2" medium heavy mod fast. Okay, it's got a bit softer tip to it, but it's not a cranking rod. I believe this rod is going to be great for single hook moving baits. You know, like spinner baits, possibly some underspins, you know, things like that. Of course, it could work for many other different things, but when I seen the specs on the rod, really a spinnerbait rod, it was the first thing that came to mind for me. So that's what I'm going to toss on it first. 7'2", medium heavy, mod fast. The lure rating, 3/8 to 7/8, line rating, 12 to 20 pound test. But man, I tell you what, it feels fantastic in hand. And I do believe, I mean, medium heavy is one of the most versatile powers you can get, and that's why he has so many of those. I do believe he's got a 7'2", 7'3", 7'4". I think the 7-footer is a medium, but he's got quite a few that are close together in length, just depending how tall you are or really what length you prefer. A medium heavy is a super versatile power. But yeah, 7'2", medium heavy, mod fast, and I believe this is going to be my spinnerbait rod. Okay, might toss a chatterbait on it, might even toss a swim jig on it, but we'll just have to play around with it just to see really how soft it is. I mean, it's definitely a softer rod, but feels like it's got some good backbone to it as well. But like I said, time on the water, we'll figure out really what works best for it. For me, and like I said, I'll give you guys that info as well. So I do believe what we plan to do, like I said earlier, is we'll take these rods out on Friday, do another video, and let you guys know my thoughts on them. So anyways, we're covered with crankbaits, we're covered with kind of our single hook moving baits. You could even toss, you know, lighter baits on this as well. Probably lighter jigs, Senkos, and things like that. But like I said, first impressions, spinnerbait rod. So we're kind of covered on our moving bait rods, you know, crankbaits, spinnerbaits, things like that. And from there, we have a rod to work the bottom. This one here is the 7'3" medium heavy extra fast. 3/8 to 1 ounce is the lure rating, 12 to 20 pound test is the line rating. And it's another rod. This feels fantastic in hand. But you can tell, again, just from going from this one to that cranking rod, there's definitely a difference in weight. But yeah, another rod here, another Meta Series rod. Really looking forward to getting this one out on the water. But with that extra fast action, this one here will be my rod to work the bottom. With a jig, a soft plastic, you know, a Texas rig, something along those lines, just to, you know, pitch to shallow cover, things like that. Again, I'm sure there's many different things you can use this rod for, but my first thoughts for this rod is just a jig, soft plastic Texas rig, you know, something like that. But man, I'm really looking forward to playing around with these Meta rods and reels. Like I said, for whatever reason, it just takes me back 20-something years to how I felt when I was using those pro qualifiers, and I feel like that again, just playing around with these. So really looking forward to getting these out on the water Friday and seeing how they do. So we got those three there. Like I said, for me and how I fish, I'm pretty much covered. Cranking, spinner baits, Texas rig, I could fish that stuff all year long and do just fine. I mean, I love, that's just how I love to fish, right? So anyways, we got the reels now, and you guys know I'm a 6-speed person, so I got all 6-speed. I do believe these are a 6.6. So not too fast, not too slow, right there in the middle. I just prefer the power. You guys know I'm like I said, I'm a shallow cranker. I'm a moving bait guy. I love a reaction bait, so I don't like the 7 speeds. I don't really care much for the 8 speeds. I like a 6. I can speed it up. I can slow it down. Plenty of power. It just kind of fits my needs. It's how I like to fish. But this is the Inception G2. Like I said, right-handed here, all in the 6.6, and it's black and red to match the rods. And I've been very impressed with the Inception series of reels. One of my favorites was that Inception, that green one. I think it's the Sport Z. That was an awesome reel. Love the Z2. I got a review on that one as well. And like I said, this one here feels super solid in hand as well. Inception G2. That's going to look pretty hot there on the rods. And like I said earlier, 150 for the reel, 150 for the rods. You're getting a pretty solid combo for 300 bucks. But like I said, yeah, I prefer a 6-speed reel. I can speed it up, slow it down. I know the benefits to a faster reel. But like I said, at least with my experience and all the reels that I've used, I prefer the power of a 6-speed. And like I said, I can always speed it up. I tend to reel too fast anyway, so a slower reel helps kind of slow me down as well. So really looking forward to playing around with these rods and reels. Well guys, that should wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Really looking forward to getting these rods and reels out on the water this week, and you guys should hopefully see that video on next Sunday. If you guys have any of the new Meta Series rods or reels, let me know down below and let me know what you guys are using them for. Like I said, having a medium heavy power for a good amount of the series. Like I said, I think there's 3 or 4 medium heavies in that series. It's just a very versatile power, and I believe you can use those rods for many different things. So let me know down below what you're using them for. And like I said, I'll let you guys know, hopefully the next video, what I'm using mine for. If you guys liked the video, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys. We will see you guys on the next one.